List, where we review, discuss, and reimagine popular movie lists. We're your hosts. I'm Jerry.
And I'm Brad. In this episode, we are exploring number 93 from AFI's 100 Years, 100 Passions, America's Top Love Stories.
Number 93, Dirty Dancing, was released in 1987, directed by Emile Ortolano, and starring Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze.
So, the synopsis for this romantic drama are as follows. In the summer of 1963, Frances Baby Houseman, played by Jennifer Grey, travels to Kellerman's Resort in the Catskills for a family vacation. Baby has an instant attraction to Johnny Castle, Patrick Swayze, one of the resort's dance instructors. She finds her way to a secret dirty dancing party where she is introduced to Johnny and they dance briefly. Baby learns Johnny's dance partner Penny is pregnant by Robbie, a womanizing waiter who attends Yale Medical School and now has an eye on Baby's older sister Lisa. After Robbie refuses to help, Baby borrows money from her dad to pay for Penny's abortion. Initially, Penny refuses to accept because she and Johnny have a performance at a nearby resort. Eventually, Baby volunteers to learn the dance routine and be Johnny's partner. Over the course of training, they develop a mutual attraction. The performance is successful, except the lift, but when they arrive triumphant back at Kellerman's, they find Penny's abortion was botched. Baby gets her father, who is a doctor, to help. He assumes Johnny is the father and mistreats him. He is also upset at Baby for deceiving him about the reason for the money she borrowed. Baby declares her love to Johnny, and they see each other in secret. Johnny is accused of stealing a wallet, and Baby has to provide an alibi to prove his innocence, that they spent the night together. Johnny is cleared of the crime, but is still fired. He returns for the talent show at the end of the season, where Dr. Houseman apologizes after learning the truth. He and Baby end the show with their dance, ending with a successful lift.
Okay, first of all, this movie is number 93. Nobody puts this movie in the corner. This is way, way, way high on the list.
Yeah.
This movie needs to be way farther down.
AFI, shame on you.
Shame on you, AFI.
This movie is... I've seen this movie several times, so... I'm just going to come out and say it. I learned this dance routine trying to impress a girl when I was in junior high. Not going to lie.
I really wish there was, like, iPhones back in the day.
But, you know.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Yeah.
So, anyway, didn't get the girl like Johnny Castle did because, you know, Brad ain't no Swayze, apparently.
I guess not.
So.
But you're my Swayze.
Okay. That makes up for it. But, you know, so I've seen this movie quite a bit. I've seen it a few times as an adult as well, and this movie is better than I remember it being. This is a really, truly great film. The chemistry between Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey is really, really great. I mean, this is like online with, you know, when they paired classic movie stars together who were under the studio system, who couldn't do anything but be under contract, so they often starred in, you know, 6-7 movies together. They paired up people that had really great chemistry. In modern times, you have to, like, you kind of have to hit lightning in a bottle, and they really did here.
Yeah. These
two are really, really great together.
The whole cast has a lot of chemistry together. Yeah. The actors that play her parents.
Yeah, Jerry Orbach plays her dad. He's best known as, you know, for his, like, 20-year role on Law and Order, the original Law and Order, not one of the 5 billion spinoffs, but, you know, he was one of the original detectives on that show for a very, very long time. That's where most people will recognize him from. And then her mom was played
Mrs. Gilmore.
Mrs. Gilmore on the Gilmore Girls. So if you watch that show and you've watched it, you know, she's Lorelei's mom.
She doesn't have much dialogue in this movie, but she's got a presence.
Yeah, and you know, it's just this movie feels like it's, you know, it's done really, really well. It feels like that time period, you know, for, you know, Jewish families, these kind of vacation spots in the Catskills were pretty common occurrence.
Yeah, that was their.
That was kind of their.
Yeah.
That was kind of their thing, and it was really like during the mid '60s. It was kind of, you know, the waning period of that, where, you know, kids were kind of interested in doing other things than going to these kind of vacation spots with their parents. So eventually this kind of died down, but, you know, it had a time and a place for years and years and years that, you know.
Yeah. So, this movie is, it's funny because I kind of did a quick calculation. I was 12 when I saw this movie in the theater and was blown away by it, and, you know, immediately bought the soundtrack, had it playing all the time, really fell in love with the characters. And, you know, it wasn't until recently when I took my niece and my mom and my sister to see, they re-released it in the theater.
They had a 30-year re-release in 2017.
Yeah, so we went and saw it, and I'm sitting in the theater watching the movie, and I'm like, wow, this has a lot of adult situations in it,
yeah,
that I never really realized when I was a kid watching this.
And to be clear, our niece at the time was much older than 12.
Yes, yeah. And so my mom, it was so funny. My mom turned to me and she said, I let you watch this movie because, you know, you got abortion, there's class issues, there's dirty dancing, there's a lot of sex. There is one of the most incredible sex scenes, I think, on the planet in this movie. Like, it's so hot and beautiful and really, just really good, is the one where she goes to his cabin and she asks him to dance with her, and they like do this sexy dance thing, and it's incredible.
Never got to do the sexy dance.
Yeah, I guess
myself.
not.
Didn't get that far. I was still in junior high. Too,
yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, a lot of like big topics, a lot of, you know, scary things happening in the movie. It's very well done. Yep. The love story between the two is really great. Again, wrong side of the tracks situation, a very classic tale, lovers or haters to lovers kind of thing, but it just really works.
Yeah.
It's just a classic movie.
It really is.
It really stands its test of time.
This is a situation where a movie addresses a previous time period and does it properly and doesn't fall into the kinds of things that make it problematic. Mm-hmm. So you don't see, you know, things like, you know, attempted rape and things like that played for laughs or kind of thrown aside or whatever. They don't gloss over the fact that, you know, hey, you know, just because, you know, it wasn't on TV and there was, you know, Ozzie and Harriet type of stuff, people were still having sex before marriage, and it was happening, and that happened with Penny. You know, she was with a guy that she thought was special, and turned out he was a dickhead, and, you know, she got pregnant, and she had to, you know, figure out a way to take care of it, and, you know, that's addressed, and it's addressed, you know, I think it's done delicately and realistically, and it doesn't slut shame her and any of that. So, you know, I think they handle all that stuff really, really well. Even like, you know, her dad, who's the doctor, he has issues with Patrick Swayze because he thinks he's the guy that got her in trouble. He treats Penny with care and respect and never does anything to shame her throughout the entire rest of the movie. He's worried about her. You know, he checks in on her. He's worried about her health, her well-being, while at the same time, like, the guy that did this to you, you know, I think is a creep. It's
very interesting because the whole movie, you know, you're dealing with class, but it's really kind of flipped because the people that have money, the people that are guests there that are coming every year, are actually the bad people. Because they feel that because they have money, because they can afford these things, they're better than everybody else. But we learn that
like
dude's a creep. You know, he totally got this woman pregnant and didn't even help her. They are mean to the dancers. All the people
Well, they just
all the people
treat them like servants.
Yes.
Everyone that works there, they treat
them like servants because in their everyday life they're not going to Yale or Harvard or all these distinguished places. They're like working people, you know. So it's like, and the ones that really care, care about their community and care about the world around them are the people that are what they considered lower class. Yeah. And what's interesting is Baby is wanting to join the Peace Corps. So she's really the only one that understands that there is no class. They're all the same people. Yeah. And she's trying so hard to help them. And it's just a really well written story.
Yeah, it's really well done. And one thing we were talking about is, at the end, we after we watched it, we kind of discussed do you think, this was the end? This is it?
Do you think this was the end of their relationship? Was it the summer and then it was over and they went back to their normal lives?
And never saw each other again?
Never saw each other again? Or do you think that they continued their relationship?
I think the answer is this was it.
I do too.
And I think they missed an opportunity. They made a sequel to this movie. I want to say it was about 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Havana Nights or whatever. I think they missed a prime opportunity to establish this relationship with Jennifer Grey and Patrick Swayze, and do it as they're adults. They run into each other. Maybe he is in some dance competition or something somewhere where maybe she's still in the Peace Corps or doing something along those lines, and they come across each other as adults. Mm-hmm. I think that would have been super interesting.
It would have been very interesting
it's always a weird thing when you dated someone when you were like a teenager and you meet him again as an adult.
Yeah.
And those feelings are still kind of within you.
Yeah,
but
it's still
everyone's
there.
grown and you're different, and you're in other relationships and all kinds of
just in different spots in their lives. Happened. Yeah.
It would have
and maybe what it would have been really interesting is if you had that situation and maybe Baby never made it to the Peace Corps.
Who knows? Or maybe Johnny hit it big or something.
Or Johnny went into the Peace Corps.
Something interesting.
Was inspired by.
You could have done a lot of stuff. Like,
yeah,
I think Patrick Swayze has a cameo in that Havana Nights movie.
Oh, I don't remember.
But I just think they missed an opportunity, and obviously, Patrick Swayze has now unfortunately passed. He died of cancer about 10 years ago. So you can't really,
can't do it.
Can't do it now.
And that's okay. It's okay. We can
okay.
leave it, please don't remake it. Please don't remake it, please.
This is one that I think really still stands the test of time. It's better than I remember it being. And I don't often say that about classic movies. I'll say, I still enjoy it. It's not as good as I remember it being. This is the opposite. This is better than I remember it being.
And what's crazy is like this is always seen as like a chick flick. This movie.
I don't think it is.
And it's not. It's not at all. Yeah. It's really a very well done
great mix of modern and classic music. It's a really, really great story. So
yeah, great soundtrack too.
I gave this one an 87. Jerry gave it an 81. The list, therefore, is 84. So this one's going to end up much higher on our list than 93 because
so dumb.
AFI, that's just dumb.
Tragic.
So that's all we have to say about Dirty Dancing. Yeah. Please like and subscribe if you want to continue this journey with us. Until next time, I'm Brad.
I'm Jerry.
And we're rating the list.
All right. We'll see you later.
Bye.